It's Colonel Cliff Serene of the Men in Black, and there's some people that are really interested in what happened to uh, Adolf Hitler, the dictator from Nazi Germany. He supposedly was found dead by the Soviet, which is modern day Russia, the Soviet army in Berlin. And, the body was burned with a gasoline fire, and the thought was that um, that was after Hitler killed himself using a pistol to the head and a cyanide capsule. We did brief research on the internet, and we found there was a study by a European journal that said that they were granted access to Hitler's remains in Russia, parts of it. Apparently, according to the story, the Russian dictator, or the Soviet Union dictator, who was formerly the head of the KGB, the secret police, Yuri Andropov, ordered the remains of Hitler to be thrown into a river, because the Russians took Hitler's body remains back to Moscow. Why? Well, the story goes that Yuri Andropov didn't want people to be creating a shrine to the Nazi dictator, given the fact that he was very unpleasant to the Russians during World War II. Anyways, I looked, and there was this so-called analysis in this European journal, and they wanted me to pay them $40 American to read the article, and I balked because it's not good evidence. They said, I don't know, various stories that are going around are that Hitler had dentures, and the dentures matched some records that they found from a dentist in Berlin at the end of World War II. It seems pretty flimsy story. Why? I don't know, it just seems flimsy to me. It just seems so convenient. Andropov ordered the body thrown into a river, but somehow, if the guy was the head of the KGB, and he said, dump the body, you don't keep pieces of the body unless you want to get shot, because Andropov was a nasty guy. So I don't believe, if he ordered Hitler's body thrown into a river, I don't believe anyone would say, let's just keep, parts of the skull and the teeth, for future references. No, Andropov said to throw it in the river. You threw it in the river pretty damn quick. So, what really did happen to Adolf Hitler after World War II? We don't really know. The best way that we think to find out is to go to the Vatican, because in the vaults of the Vatican, there's Father Ernetti's chronovisor. It's a strange piece of technology that the Vatican got their hands on, and if you put the visor on, you can look back in time to see anything that happened in the past. The book, Father Ernetti's chronovisor, should be available on one of these internet bookstores. Other subjects that we've been following, when are we going to have first contact with these so-called extraterrestrials? Well, officially, never. We're never going to have a government say, this is Mr. from planet. It's just not going to happen. So, it's not like the Men in Black aren't going to, be busy, because we're an intelligence, we got to keep tabs on them. But this story has been hushed up for so long. The first contact of the extraterrestrials was probably thousands and thousands of years ago. ancient stories about ancient aliens. It was on TV, so it's not like it's a secret. But as far as the government goes, no government is ever going to officially confirm or deny anything about extraterrestrials. It's just that they buried the story for so long. They think that they'd look foolish if they finally admitted, that there were really extraterrestrials. Nevertheless, private citizens often talk about extraterrestrials, having dreams and going and visiting extraterrestrial spaceships, and then we're supposed to believe someone's dream makes it official that they are a contactee of extraterrestrial, because I had a dream about extraterrestrials. Then there was the famous movie around 1978, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. A close encounter of the third kind is you meeting up with a extraterrestrial in like in your physical everyday life, and they're in their physical everyday life, and you meet up with them. It was very popular in 1978. Everyone was getting so excited, because there was this movie about extraterrestrials. Must be true. But, that was 22, how many years ago? It's 2020, 42 years ago that movie came out. And in the past 42 years, no government will tell you that there are anything but humans in space. Other mysteries that we are trying to talk about are basically all the mysteries that you might find, if you go into a magazine shop, and sometimes it used to be like there was the Fortean Times that would cover these bizarre things, and of course the National Enquirer. Life magazine might have had an issue that I saw, all these mysteries. Star Trek's Mr. Spock, the first Mr. Spock, Leonard Nimoy, had his own TV show, and it was all about these kind of mysteries. And then many years later, Star Trek's Captain Kirk, William Shatner, also had a show about weird things. Weird or what? Extraterrestrials are also shown on the Simpsons TV show. It's a cartoon. They've also got a cartoon version of God. Our producer, Chief Clancy Wiggum of The Simpsons, he says he used to be a guest, and now he's decided he wants the show to be his show. So it's his show, and we're just his camera people. But he wants to talk about nothing in particular. He kind of thinks that Seinfeld was a good kind of format. He used to think that The Muppet Show was a good format. He really doesn't get an original idea. He's, a big, great TV watcher back in the day. He likes to watch TV, and he doesn't watch our channel too much. Mostly he wants to watch every video that we make, so we always have at least one viewer. We're not really sure if we're allowed to say that Chief Clancy Wiggum is our producer, because we always wonder if he's like a copyrighted character. I'm sure he is, which means, we really can't do too much. I'm not even sure if we're allowed to say his name without, paying some kind of money to the Simpsons TV show. Well, that was Bob Frizzell for the reality game, and just switching hats. I just want to remind people, I haven't said for a long time, but the reality game is ultra low budget. In other words, we don't pay our actors, we don't pay for stories, we don't pay for scoops, we don't pay for comments, and we don't pay for viewers. Unlike many other channels on social media where you can pay someone and then miraculously your number of viewers astronomically grows. Oh yes, it's true. There are people who somehow are tied in with social media, and if you pay them money, somehow they get involved with the number of viewers that you officially have on your videos. So if you see somebody who's got an enormous number of subscribers or enormous numbers of video watches, I'd be very hesitant to say that's real. It's just because it's very easy to find these people, So don't be sucked in if someone seems to have like 100,000 subscribers and thinking that I should follow this person because they got so many subscribers. No, it's just they paid money to get the subscriber numbers. And who are the official subscriber numbers? Well, are they real? Maybe. I mean, there are people out there that make all day long, they make fake profiles. They just sign up a new name and create a profile, and then it's kind of a slow way of doing it, though. Maybe there's bots, computer bots, robots that do it. Or maybe they just go into a back door in one of these social media channels, and using the back door, they can just go and change the number of official subscribers and official views. Trust no one. That's what you have to remember from the X-Files. The X-Files did definitely talk about extraterrestrials and conspiracy theories. We don't talk about extraterrestrials too much, other than Pindar, the reptilian Draco. And it's too bad we don't really have anybody else besides Pindar who's, from off-planet that we talk about. Clancy thinks that we should get a big butterfly net and try and capture a different kind of extraterrestrial, and then we've got a story. So he's going to see. I told him that it's ultra low budget, and Frizzell's not going to go for a butterfly net. He might find a fish net. If somebody left their boat lying around at a dock somewhere, he might, scoff one. Scoff is an old term from Canada. If you scoff something, it means you stealed it. Stelt it? You took it. Scoff it. Did you scoff my freezy that I got from the corner store? Scoff. Pindar from Draconis is lying low. He says it's too hot. He says he likes winter better than summer, even though he's reptilian. He says he's somehow just developed hot flashes. He thinks he's going through menopause. This is supposed to be a comedy channel, and our joke writers, it's ultra low budget. We don't have joke writers, and it's usually me that has to come up with a laugh. I'm terribly sorry. That's all we have for you today. The next thing we're going to talk about is something else.